Yo, what's good, everybody? B-Boy Moy representing Breakfree Worldwide, and I'm rocking with the B-Boy Dojo, and we're going to discuss Break X, and this is the knowledge drop.
Focus. Break X, Grand Jam going down this week. And in these weird times, how did you come into a conclusion, first of all, that on-site events are the way to go in 2021 for Breakfree?
Man, we just got through this crazy year, and we're still going through this crazy year. So it's just important, man, for our scene to stay alive and to stay fresh and innovative, and in order to kind of be in the front lines of that, you have to make this crazy risk and investment to produce these events, but keep our scene going, man. We can get complacent and we can get tied up in what ifs, or is it ever going to come back? And so we as a team here at Break Free wanted just to make sure that we were contributing and contributing to inspiration, not just as event producers, but to inspiration. There's a lot of people out there that are looking to be inspired during these crazy times. And so with our events, we thought that it was important to go back on site, right? We did this full year of online events, and we'll continue to do online events, but the on-site events is where it's at, man. And they're the essence of what we do, right? This is why we get down. We get down. I mean, of course, we have the garages and the parks and the things like that don't need an admission fee or anything like that, but at the same time, the events are what make us better. They help us get to another level, and so that's why we're doing it, man. We didn't want people to feel complacent. We didn't want people to feel like they're burning their energy and they're wasting their time. And we wanted to take a big risk in doing this. Obviously, it is a huge risk because COVID is still in existence right now. It's still there. It still exists, and people are still going through so many different things. So we still have those what ifs if people are going to show up or not. But regardless, whether it's 2 people there or 2,000 people, I think that it was important for Break Free to make something like this happen.
Absolutely amazing work this far. And I think both platforms are really important, the online events and on-site events. In this time, how is it different running a physical on-site event? What kind of tweaks and adjustment did you have to make
Yeah,
production-wise?
I mean, I think the obvious, stating the obvious in doing on-site events now, you have to go through all these kind of COVID-friendly protocols, right? You want to make sure that you're going over the social distancing protocols, the mask mandates. I mean, everyone's required to wear a mask when you walk into a building. That's something unheard of, right? We're just so used to just freely going into events and just kind of just attacking the floor, and that's how it was. But now we're trying to take all the tickets online, so there's not much waiting at the door. So that's something new, because a lot of us would line up at events trying to get in, and we're really trying to eliminate that. So I know that there's going to be some challenges there, but that's why we've been promoting ticket sales directly online, so there's less kind of more people to people interaction at the door while it's stacking up with people who are wanting to come in. So following those protocols, the mask mandates and the social distancing, because our events are also, once you get to this competitive state of like top 32 or top 16, top 8, we want to get to a point where we have general public, and they're in the audience and they're seating. And so we want to make sure that they're spaced out in a way that it's not affecting what COVID has brought to us. And so we have a big venue, so that's another plus, right? Because we will probably not meet the capacity of the venue, but the reason why we got this big venue is so that there is social distancing naturally and organically in place, if that makes any sense. So I think that's the biggest challenge with these on-site events, is that typically you wouldn't mind. We come from a community where it's very just like, yo, what's up? It's good, nice to see you. But now it's kind of dab, and kind of go about our business. But hopefully things kind of start to normalize. But who knows, man? Maybe this is the new normal. We'll see.
Amazing. Any funny background stories on how these events came to existence? Space City Classics, for example. I remember you getting like a supercomputer to run all the online battles last year. So is there any
Yeah.
funny stories behind the production that people don't know about?
So funny stories. Let me think. So first of all, let's talk about that supercomputer. So yeah, last year, I mean, obviously, think everybody had to pivot and kind of take this technology dive, right, and jump into this cyber space of world, the cyber world of just trying to make things happen. And so we bought this supercomputer, super expensive. We spent like over 20 grand just for the computer itself, just to ensure that it runs the best of the best and there's no hiccups. Funny story is whenever we bought it, it was so fast and it's so powerful that whenever we were streaming through YouTube, it gave us a notice that YouTube is trying to catch up to the computer. And it was important for Breakfree to do it. It was important to follow, managing and organizing these big online events. And then also, I've always wanted to make it a thing to where Houston becomes kind of a hub for big breaking events. And we've never had that. It's always been LA, New York, or somewhere overseas. And so I've always wanted to get to that level. And so fortunately for Breakfree, we're in a position to kind of take those risks and make that happen. And so that's why we're here. So of course, there's a lot of things that happen on the back end, a lot of arguing, a lot of debating. Should we do this? Should we not do it? Is it the right move? And I think ultimately we came to the decision that, you know what, if it's not us, then who else? And right now is the perfect time to kind of bring the community together. So nothing crazy funny, man, but just inspired by this crazy year and a half of going through of, what's going to happen next. Well, here we are. This is the next.
You guys made the dream come true, not just a hub for the States, but a hub for the whole world. Like there are no other major events. So respect for that. Amazing work.
Appreciate it.
What can we expect from BreakX Grand Jam next weekend? And where should people who can't be there physically, where can they have the experience?
It's going to be a bit different. I think early in the days when we were doing events, you're so used to kind of showing up and doing these prelim battles. But if you saw Space City Classic last time, we had these press conferences where, the B-boys and the B-girls can talk a little bit about each other. And the reason why that was important is because I think with breaking growing, it's important for people outside of our community to know the key players and to know the personalities and the backstories, right? That's what really takes this to another level, right? And to build fans outside of breaking. And so that's something I always wanted to do. Is like, you and I could meet across from one another, but at the same time, anybody that's watching on the outside, they don't really know the story of Focus. They don't really know the story of Moy, or have we battled before? And so the press conferences were to kind of, bring some awareness to the personalities that are in our culture, right? Because that's what builds personal brands. That's what builds us as characters and personalities within the dance, and to also get other brands behind who we are, right? So it's not just a bunch of guys breaking and doing high level stuff. No, there's actually people that, they feel a certain way about somebody. They feel a certain way about the dance. There's these backstories of battles that have happened within the past 10, 15 years. And so we wanted to bring that to the table and bring that to light. So with BreakX, we're doing the same thing. So I know Space City was invitational. So the challenge for us is now going through day one and getting down all the way to the top 8, and then coming back the next morning for a press conference day to introduce all these new characters, and to have our production team have all their photos ready, have everything ready, everything lined up for the world to see how excited the B-boys and the B-girls are, and to give a chance for the general public and anybody that's new in the breaking culture to understand these personalities and where they come from and why they're so excited to be there. And so that's something new that we're introducing with our events. And then later on that day, we kind of go to showtime, right? Just straight competition from top 8 all the way to there's a winner. And what we're doing there is, again, to bring breaking at on a competitive platform to where people kind of see it somewhat like a sporting event, right? Because we got this Olympic movement happening over there. And in order for our events to kind of align to that, we have to start introducing that concept, right? We have to start introducing that concept. And so that's something to expect from BreakX, but don't get it twisted. Just because I'm announcing this kind of sporting style events doesn't mean we're not keeping the culture intact, right? That's why Breakfree is in existence. The foundation of Breakfree is the essence, right? The teaching, the knowledge, the history, and building new generations of B-boys and B-girls and MCs and DJs and graffiti writers. And so, of course, everything that Breakfree is doing is intertwined with what we're doing. And so the tagline for for BreakX Grand Jam this weekend is on an athletic expression. It's bringing the art and the performance, the athleticism together. And so that's why it's important that, you know, if you're coming to our event, especially BreakX Grand Jam this weekend, you know, in the beginning of the event, prior to the main competition, it's going to be open ciphers, you know, the typical what we're used to. So that's not going to change. That's not going to change at all. And we hope that people are getting down, you know, and vibing out. But, you know, through a certain time frame, like day 1, 7 to 10 p.m. Houston time, it's going to be just high level production event competition. And then on Sunday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Houston time, it's going to be high level event competition. And that's going to be live streamed through our YouTube channel worldwide. So you can't miss it. You can't miss it. You know what I mean? It's on our website. It's going to be on our social media. All the information you need to follow BreakX Grand Jam is available. Just follow at Breakfree Worldwide or visit the website at breakfreeworldwide.com.